Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, back to another video, and back into my life. How are you? Doing well? Amazing. How am I? I've been dying of the OG Black Plague for at least 2 weeks now, and I got an eye infection in both eyes. But other than that, I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for coming back to another video with your girl, Mel. For those of you who don't know me, I am your girl, Mel. Just a silly little Canadian girl living abroad in the UK, trying to get her master's, and also trying not to die of a vitamin D deficiency or the Black Plague. Both are very big contesters for taking my life, apparently. But enough of me, let's get to today's video.
Oh, and before we get into the meat of everything, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Today's video, I have 4 steps, tips, tricks, hacks on how to stop feeling overwhelmed in your life or to deal with feelings of overwhelm that invade your calm serenity life in times of strife and overwork. So I was actually inspired to do this video because my friend just posted this like meme on her Instagram. Shout out Megan Cartwright, we love her. But I actually think she posted it on her Mindfully Meg Instagram. I'm trying to find it. So my friend posted this on her Mindfully Meg Instagram account. Go follow her, Mindfully Meg. She's a nutritionist. Anyways, so the post said, working your job while working on your mental health, while working on your relationships, while working on your physical health, while working on your family, while working on sleep habits, while working on self-care, while working on exercise, while working on personal goals, while working. And it made me laugh because I'm like, we truly are all in the same boat of crazy work, crazy hustle culture, crazy grind. And that's why I was very inspired or pulled to make this, I'm not gonna pull my own hair out, pulled to make this video today, because we're all just dealing with the same overwhelmed stress feelings. And you know what? We should take care of ourselves, and we should take care of that. So these are my 4 step tips, tricks, which I think they're just tips, my 4 tips on how to deal with overwhelm. So I have all of the steps, tips, tricks, hacks on my phone. So if you see me looking at my phone, I'm not texting someone. Don't get jealous. I'm looking at the tips. All right. First one. So for the first tip, you're going to divide your tasks, visually divide your tasks. So get your calendar, get your agenda, get your Google Docs. Like I have horrible handwriting, so I use Google Docs and like the calendar and just timetable features for everything because I do not write things down. You're going to write all your tasks, and this is like including school, work, family, health. So you're going to write down when you want to go to the gym, when your workout classes are planned, when your essays are due, when that test is coming up, when you have shifts at work, or when you have like work projects due. Write it all down. And I would say like do it month at a time. So right now we're in March. You'd be looking at March specifically. So write everything in March that you have due. Things that are big tasks like essays. Say I have an essay due March 25th. Break that into smaller tasks. So intro, body, conclusion, when I want to have those done by. Say, okay, today's the 10th. I want the introduction to be done by the 15th. Good. So I'm going to write intro for essay 15th. Then I want to have the body done by, I don't know, the 20th. Okay, body done by 20th. And then I want to have the conclusion done by the 22nd. Great. And then I want to leave those 3 days for editing and perfecting and handing it in with not like 1 second on the clock. So divide them all up. Also, divide specific tasks. See if you have 2 things on one day. Like say if I want my introduction done and it's the same day I have to work out my glutes, like write the times down next to it. Don't just willy-nilly like, oh yeah, I'm going to do both those things that day. No, write the times. Also, for me, I know this is me specifically, I have more kind of mental capacity in the morning. I have more energy to do things in the morning. So I always do my hardest tasks first. back when I was studying for my GRE, the GRE, for those of you who don't know, is a general record exam. It was used to like kind of like an SAT score. And it was mostly used in North America, but you would do this standardized test and you would get a mark, and this would help you get into graduate school, like for masters or PhDs. Schools don't require it anymore because after COVID, people had to do it at home and everyone was cheating, so everybody had amazing scores. And it like puts you on a, like it gives you a score and it averages you all out. So people were getting crazy good scores and it was like just not legit anymore. Anyways, I wrote one of those, and it's basically math and English. Those are the two things that they test you on because they're like, you're only smart if you know math and English. So I struggle with math, and I would start with math in the morning. I have the most mental capacity in the morning, so I would start with math in the morning and I would study math. Then English I would do in the evening because evenings I'm kind of tired. You know, I had a bit less focus. I would get distracted more easy, but I found English to be easier. Also, like staring at an English question was not as daunting as staring at a math question. So when my brain was dead, if I even looked at a math question that seemed like out of my realm, I would close that book right back up. Whereas English, I'm like, okay, like I speak English. How hard can this be? You know? So also think about where you're timing things in your blocks. So that's tip 1, visually divide up all of your projects. Write them out, times included. Tip number 2 is take breaks. Take breaks. If you are working and you're feeling so overwhelmed, say you're studying for a test and it's all getting too much and your textbook's open, you're looking at your screen, you don't know what you're doing, stop and take a real break. What I mean by a real break is go to a different room, put on some headphones, listen to some calming music, do a meditation, close your eyes, do something very low brain energy. Also, if you could, points for if you can close your eyes, do something with your eyes closed, because sometimes we are just overstimulated by our environment that's making us feel overwhelmed. So if you can close your eyes, just breathe for 5 minutes, that's a real rest. Don't go on social media. People are like, oh yeah, you know, do 25 minutes work and 5 minutes break. And for the 5 minutes, they're like scrolling social media. That's not a break. You're not breaking. You are not breaking. You're breaking your focus. So have a real break. Close your eyes. Shh. Have a little nap if you want. That's totally a rest. Also, I feel like you can break from your work with other work. Like switch tasks. If you are writing an essay and you're feeling overwhelmed because nothing you write kind of seems right, you know, switch tasks. Like if you gotta go make dinner, just put it down and make dinner, you know, get some fresh air. Or if you have to work out, put the essay down and go work out, you know. Or if you have to send an email for work, put the essay down, send an email. I had to do this the other day. I was writing an essay. I was feeling overwhelmed because I was like, why aren't the words coming out? But I also had to send 2 emails. So I took a break and I sent the 2 emails. And then when I came back from the 2 emails, I had fresher eyes on the essay. I read through it and I was like, oh, this is why it's not making sense. If I read it like this is so much better. Boom. Now, a lot of experts will say things like multitasking or task breaking like that is not efficient, but that's only if you're in deep work. Say if I'm writing an essay and I'm in deep work and I'm really busting it out, I shouldn't then switch to write the email. Obviously, because that's going to break your focus. And it breaks your focus and it's harder for you to get back into deep work. But I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about when your hands are still, you're looking at the screen, you got doe eyes because you don't know what's happening and the words aren't coming. That's when you switch tasks. That's when it's acceptable to have a break by doing a different task. Another big thing, important thing about breaks, if you really want to have a restful break, change the environment. So if you're writing something in your bedroom, like go to the living room to have your break. Or if you're at work, go to a different workroom if you can do that. I don't know what work. I don't know work. See if you can work in a cafe. Or if you have an office job, see if you can work from home certain days. Because another thing I will say about environment, it's also the people in your environment. If you're constantly hanging out with people who have this overwhelmed energy, like, I gotta do this, and oh my god, I gotta do this, and da 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 da, like the people who are buzzing and they make you anxious just by being next to them, that's also what you need to consider environment, and you need to switch up. You need to not hang out with those people. Same thing for school. If you have people who are like that, who are always stressed about the next test, like definitely people are stressed, but then there's people who are high key and they're stressing everybody else out. Don't hang out with those people. Tell them to watch this video and then you can hang out with them after. But switch up your environment, switch up the people in your environment. That will help. The last thing about breaks I will say is make sure in your day you have a designated time that's just for you. Either wake up early in the morning to have a very luxurious like skincare, coffee, looking out the window moment, or maybe you take yourself on solo lunch dates where you don't take anybody, you don't take your phone, you just go, you eat some good food, and you relax. Or in the evening, you watch one episode of your show, you leave your phone in a different room on Do Not Disturb, and you just have time to do something you enjoy. Make sure you have 1 hour in each day that is just for you. This will help. This will totally help. All right, my third tip is get support. So earlier I talked about people you shouldn't hang out with, but there are people who you should hang out with, and those are people who hold you accountable, ground you, people that you generally like. So these are like school friends that you often study with, or your work bestie, or your gym partner. Get those people and specifically tell them like, hey, you're my accountability partner. When you work, I work. And it's just better. Also, things like school and projects, you can then update each other like, oh, how's it going with that work presentation? Or, oh, how did you think of my last presentation? What things do you think I need to tweak on for this one? Have you done this yet? No. Have you done this yet? Oh yeah, this is easy. Da, da, da. Have accountability partners. Another thing with support is get professional support, like therapists, school counselors, managers can be professional support. And go to them when you're feeling overwhelmed. Don't just sit in overwhelmed silence. Communicate with them and ask them what they want from you or what they want you to do. And that sometimes will help. Or ask them what you can do to alleviate your overwhelmedness. If you go to your manager and you're like, hey, I'm feeling really overwhelmed with these hours. I can't be doing this. You know what they're going to say? Oh, okay, I will cut your hours if you want. If you don't want to work, doubles on Thursdays, then let's not make you work doubles on Thursdays. The end. If you go to like a school counselor or academic advisor, you feel like you're drowning from essays, there's extensions. If they feel like, they want you, the school wants you to succeed, they'll be like, okay, we can put a request for an extension on this assignment, which will give you more breathers for these 2 assignments. How about that? Nobody's gonna come for you. Nobody's gonna shoot you and be like, you failed. No. And then also, go to therapy. If you feel, overwhelmed by regular tasks, then you should go to therapy. Because that's a different issue. And I'm not a therapist. You should go to them. And they can help you with your real feelings of overwhelm. Yeah. All right, my last tip is tip number 4, which is saying no. If you already have a bunch on your plate, you gotta learn how to say no. And this is something that I'm still learning at my big old age of 27. If your boss comes to you and says, hey, can you work on this project, please, with me? But you already have 2 other projects that you're working on. You have to tell him, okay, which of these 2 do I stop working on to come work on this new project with you? He's either going to tell you which one to stop working on, or he's going to realize, oh yeah, that's actually a lot for your plate. No. You just got to be frank with people. 100%. School is different. Obviously, assignments have their due date and they've been set. But if people are asking you for favors, as an example, I had a professor who asked me a favor to write a blog for them. And I said, because I'm still learning and I'm still making errors, I was like, oh, I have a lot of assignments. I don't know if I can handle it, but if nobody else can do it, I can do it. Because I wanted to be nice. And he replied to me, he's like, sometimes we have to know when to say no. And I was like, you're right. I love him. Shout out Dr. Stephen Kenny. We love him. But really, you have to not take on more work than you can handle. And when I say saying no, this also means saying no to kind of luxurious things as well. You can't be going out on the weekend or, getting drunk. You can't even be getting drunk at home because that's going to incapacitate you for the next day, and you're not going to be getting the same kind of work that you need done, especially if you're in an overwhelmed period of time where you have a lot of things to do. You have to be saying no with, going out with friends, unfortunately, going out, to extravagant parties or dinners or events. You can't do that. There are times for that. I'm not saying never go out, but if you're just in an overwhelming period in your life right now, say no. Say no. Protect your peace and say no, because you already have no peace. If you're at this video, you're telling me you're overwhelmed, and I'm telling you going out clubbing is not going to relieve the overwhelm. It's just not. It's just not. Those are my 4 tips on how to not be overwhelmed or how to get out of feelings of overwhelm. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. I reply to all of my comments. And just thank you guys so much. I hope these tips help you, or at least help somebody in your little overwhelmed life. I know I'm following these tips very hardcore right now. Like I said, March is such a busy month for me, but everybody wish me happy birthday in the comments. Every video I make this month, you should wish me a happy birthday because it is my birthday month and it is a hard month for me, so you should be extra nice. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.